The tabletop takeaway.
Game mechanics on display.
Three designers share the stage.
Pick a genre and we'll play.
The tabletop takeaway.
Welcome back to the Tabletop Takeaway. I'm Charlie McCarran.
I'm Trevor Muller-Hagel.
And I'm Ananda Gunaratne.
And today we are going to be doing our wrap-up episode for route building games.
Choo choo.
We played 3 games. Acrotiri, which is kind of a tile laying, route building, and pick up and deliver game. And then we played Wabash Cannonball.
Wabash Cannonball.
Yeah, thank you. Johnny Cash song. That one is kind of a cooperative... it's not cooperative. Sorry, you are cooperating on building routes. I should say
in companies that you own together.
Yeah.
But still trying to get the most money than anyone else.
Exactly.
Yep.
And then we played Bus, which is maybe more like the traditional route building you think of, like Ticket to Ride, where you're creating your own path to different stops.
While you are also interacting with other people who are building their paths, and those paths can cross.
Yeah.
Creating conflict.
Yes.
Yeah, and one thing we were thinking about is, route building games. What defines that? And kind of comes down to like point to point on a map of some sort, connecting those things.
Yeah.
And
it needs, the points that you're connecting need to matter somehow.
In some way, yeah.
Because, like, Carcassonne, you have roads, but Carcassonne is not a route-building game.
Right.
Because you do not care what the roads connect to.
Right.
I mean, you care insofar as the roads are a barrier between the fields, but it really doesn't matter which city a road is connected to. Now, if there were some mechanic where, I don't know, there's like cities can send trade carts between each other. I don't know how it would work in Carcassonne, but if it actually mattered which cities were connected by a road, then you might call it a route building game, but it doesn't. So the locations you're connecting have to matter, I think, for a route building game.
Yeah. And yeah, I guess of the 3 games we played, what do you guys think you'll take away from with for
me, just in terms of the games we played, Acrotiri I think had a really fun exploration mixed with route building. Because you're actually like exploring this map as you create it and expand it, and then you're trying to create combos with your kind of goal cards, and it made it much more dynamic for me than just trying to complete a path or trying to just do something for just pure victory points. I'm trying to create combos or create chains as I maintain like my objectives and then also make my temples. So like there's a lot of subsystems that are helping support the route building, and I think that's a really important thing.
Mm-hmm.
I really like how Bus doesn't allow you to branch.
Go on one of the ends, but not in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that really narrows the player's focus, and also I suppose it also adds a bit of replayability for similar reasons, because in one game you might connect certain points, and in another you might connect different ones. Whereas if you branch, it's a lot of freedom. You can the games feel more similar.
You try to find the exact right strategy instead of playing and adapting to the current game.
Yeah, I think it's easier actually to recognize a game as unique, or a route building game as unique when you can't branch. Because like thinking about Bus, I can remember distinct games of Bus that I've played based on where I built my route.
Interesting.
Because like sometimes, I built it up in the northern part of the map, or I built it in the southern part. Maybe I had it go around really tight, or maybe I had it spread out a lot. But because there's no branching, they feel more distinct in my mind.
More like unique experiences.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
which you would not really get that sense from a game of Catan, for example. It's like you'd remember the resources that you built to, and like, oh, I remember I put like 3 cities around
Right.
one spot, but you wouldn't.
I harvested all the wheat.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, that's a good point. Like what, because we want games to be memorable and feel different from game to game.
And that tell a story as well.
Yeah.
That's a big piece.
But yeah, I think that sort of limitation adds replayability, because you can explore like a different area of the map, since you're so restricted in how you can spread out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thinking about Akrotiri, what makes those games memorable, I think for me it's like maybe some of those games where I had a goal to make the biggest island.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And that's funny because in that game you're building, I always think of the sea routes, because that's mostly what you're...
They're super quick and the standard thing you interact with.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
But there's also land routes in that, because the land is also like a warp point kind of from one area to the other.
Just like the water is.
Yeah.
It actually behaves almost identically, except it'll have supplies and things on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess the points in that game would be the docks, wouldn't they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because those routes go as far as you possibly can along a certain line.
As long as you get to another dock.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't get back into the water otherwise.
Yeah, and thinking about Wabash Cannonball.
Yeah.
That's one, I think what I would take away from that is the idea that you're building a route together with someone else. Anyone who has stock in that company can.
Yeah. And you know, in Wabash Cannonball, you buy into this company, so you can have awkward situations like we had, or like you had, where, you know, everyone else owns more of your companies than you do. So like, how do you do anything unique? But I can imagine a situation like between two cities where you just start off sharing a rail line with each of your neighbors, and then you need to make the most of both rail lines, which is...
I like that. Yeah. Actually, as we were playing it, I was thinking, like, I kind of want more of these 50-50 splits.
Because that was the really interesting part, because in order to win, since you're sharing with everyone, you kind of have to balance how much you're investing into each railroad.
Yeah.
Because you want to sort of make sure that it's even, so that you're getting the most between the railroads, which is the same premise as between two cities.
Yeah. I feel like those kind of games, like Wabash Cannonball, and where there is many people that could cooperate, sort of work better with more than 3 players.
Yeah.
More than just the 3 of us.
Well, I don't know that you can have a ton of players in Wabash Cannonball either, because like it kind of limits itself a little bit too.
Sure. Yeah.
Just in terms of action selection and action economy, because in that game you have a limited number of actions you can do in the game in general. Mm-hmm. And since you only have the same companies that are trying to go to the west, it doesn't change that dynamic very much. So people end up scoring just a little bit less.
On the other hand, given that the actions mostly benefit multiple people, maybe that's not such an issue.
Sure.
Like, it means more working together with other people.
Yeah. I actually don't know the player count for Wabash.
Yeah. Well, thinking about another aspect of route building games is, like, when you're designing one, like, is there going to be something that's traversing the routes that you're making?
Oh, right.
Sure.
Yeah. Are you physically moving on them, or do you just sort of build them and then they're just statically there?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Like bus, there's passengers which move along there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Akrotiri, you're moving your own pieces along the board.
And Wabash, you just have access to everything.
Yeah.
Right.
So like it doesn't
Yeah,
actually...
you're not actually moving anything. It's sort of static.
Right.
Ticket to Ride style, too. It's just
it
glorified scoreboard, actually.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Come to think... Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Well, you know, I think my favorite route building game is probably Slipways.
Sure.
And in Slipways...
the video game?
The video game.
Yeah.
But it feels a lot like a board game. And the basic premise of Slipways is that you're managing a space empire. It's sort of like a 4X game, but without any conflict.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so you colonize planets, and then you draw trade routes between them. And I guess one of the really interesting things about the game is that each planet has things that it produces and things that it needs, or the people will be unhappy.
Sure.
And you don't want the people to be unhappy because that creates a negative modifier to your score. You have about 8 years to make a planet happy, 8 in-game years, before they become permanently unhappy. So, every colony you make is sort of you're going into debt until you can satisfy their needs.
Sure.
But what's really interesting about it is you draw these trade routes, and the trade happens automatically. So, like, if there's a planet that produces food and needs water, and you have another planet that produces produces water and needs robots, you can colonize both of them, draw a line between them, and then the water-producing planet will send 1 unit of water over to the water-consuming planet.
Sure.
It just happens automatically.
It just happens automatically when you draw the line.
Yeah.
Really, really nice.
And you were working on a similar game too, weren't you?
Yeah,
For
like
a
a
probability farming.
A roll and write.
Was it roll and write? Oh,
it was
that's
a
right.
roll and write.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting because it does make me think like, one of the things with pick up and deliver games, which we were kind of thinking about, go hand in hand with route building. Like Acroteria is a pick up and deliver.
Sure. Yeah.
And so is Bus.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. And in those games, like, the action points really matter because that is a core fun component of part of the game. But in games where if you're just like doing those actions to pick up and deliver, but it's not really a core part of the game, then I do like that Slipways method where it's just you make the route, it happens.
Yes, it just happens automatically. And actually, now that I think about it, is there... Maybe I'm misremembering, but isn't there something like that in Brass also? Am I forgetting? Like, you connect to the locations on the side of the board, and you have to immediately resolve.
Yes, there is something like that. And then also being connected to coal gives you access to coal.
But like, isn't there an obligation when you connect to
that you have to do the thing?
Yeah, I forget exactly the
familiar.
mechanic, but. I think
I only played half of Brass Birmingham, and then the rule we were already like just learning the game, and then the second half you have to rip up your routes you built, and at that point we were like, okay, I think we got a good taste of this game. Maybe we won't rip up our routes and rebuild them.
Yeah.
So I know people love that game, but
I enjoyed playing it.
That was kind of a.
I think. Yeah, now that I think about it, that was a really satisfying mechanic in Brass as well, assuming I'm remembering it correctly. Just, you connect your route to something, and because you've created an opportunity for trade, you are obligated to make that trade.
To do one of the things, and I think there's maybe some options too, depending on the space.
And Indonesia has something a little bit like that too. In Indonesia, that's another Splotter game, you are producing various goods, and there are cities, and you also own shipping routes. And if there's a shipping route connecting your good to a city, I believe you have to ship it there.
Oh, interesting.
I think. And I'm hoping I'm not misremembering this, but this can actually be very bad for you sometimes because, like, if the cost of shipping might be greater than the cost of the good.
Oh no!
So other players can try to make shipping routes that force you to spend more money than you're making. So yeah, having I guess how would you put that? An obligation to ship in a pick up and deliver game, I think, is something that is really cool, and it also just feels pretty nice when the shipment happens automatically.
That's making me think of, okay, this is a different direction, but like maybe you're connecting routes, and let's say you're tunneling through, and suddenly your route hits like a cavern that has a like an underground dragon in it or something, and you're like, oh, now my route is connected to that. I'm in trouble. Like,
oh, interesting.
Like usually route building games, you're connecting to good stuff that you want to be connecting to, and then suddenly
it's like an exploration game too.
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
Yeah.
And now suddenly, like, obviously there's exploring games where you uncover something. It's like, oh no, we got to deal with this. But but the idea that it's now going to affect your entire system with some sort of...
You woke the dragon, and now the dragon will do a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like, or a virus or something.
Sure.
Yeah, you know, none of the games that we played, I think, had an obligation to ship.
Yeah.
But now that I'm recognizing that in a few other games, I think maybe that's... I'm going to say that's my takeaway, which is in a route building game, add an obligation to ship. You connect to something. You have to do something that ships things to other places on your route, and that's really cool because maybe other players have built things on your route that accept the things you're connecting to. So yeah, add obligation to ship to a route building game.
That's interesting.
I like it.
Yeah.
What kind of a route building game would you build?
Well, I've already kind of made one. I've probably made a couple, but the one I'm thinking of is Wriggle, where you're a worm in a compost bin, and you are extending from either end of the worm, sort of like in Bus.
Yep.
There's no branching.
No middle of the worm going out.
Right.
Yep.
That's good. So you eat food scraps and you produce soil and you grow flowers in the soil. It's the locations do matter, although there isn't that much of a focus on connecting specific points. It's more the food that your worm is traveling over that matters.
And you're trying to create a route that gives you the resources you need to produce the correct
type of soil.
Of soil, yeah, because you need to match soils, I think, right?
Yeah, but maybe if I went back to it and approached it more as a route building game, with points that you connect.
Sure.
Maybe an obligation to ship. I don't know. Maybe that would be an interesting new direction.
What are the worms shipping?
I guess I realized I have made a route building game well, this is a question. Is it a route building game? For Humors, my first published game, has a big map that has essentially a bunch of locations on them with roads to different spots. And when I was thinking about Ticket to Ride as a glorified scoreboard, that's essentially what that is in For Humors. It's like you're winning. So the main gameplay is on these other cards, and you win with your tokens there to put them out on the location that's matching that card.
Yep.
And multiple people can get their tokens on a location, and you can even get multiple tokens on a location. And it's probably not a route building, but there's some of the goal cards are that you try to get 3 in a row or in a one connected blob. So in that sense, it's sort of like Ticket to Ride, I guess.
Sure.
But
having
on
just
a
like an
small
objective,
scale, yeah,
and connect things together so you meet that objective.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
It's making me think, though, like, if I were to redo that game, which I kind of am going to be doing there's a card version that's going to be coming out next. Yes. But, I probably wouldn't have the big route building area as such a big part of the table.
In terms of just, table space efficiency.
Yep. That may be a mini expansion someday that makes more use of that map.
Oh, sure.
But people like maps, and especially modular maps that look like it. The problem is the promise of it looks like it's going to be this cool route building thing,
right?
And it's a small part of the game.
That's a good point. You don't want the components to overpromise.
Yeah.
So I really enjoy obviously making RPG-ish style games where you are like a character or a role or something like that. And I was thinking about it, having this kind of exploration feature. And I was realizing as we were just talking that I could have it actually be like a parkour through New York City as a courier.
Ooh.
So you're a parkour courier.
That's great. Parkourier.
Park courier.
Oh, that's pretty good.
But yeah, you're like, you find new routes to like go from building to building, or maybe you have like different skills that you can do that like jump from a building down to the ground and enter a building or something like that.
I really like that idea.
Cool.
Because like, I've played some games where it's like representing like skateboard.
Yeah.
And like you're making your way through the city.
Yeah.
But none of them have a memory of your routes. It's just you're going around. But I like that idea, especially parkour, because it's like, ooh, I figured out a path.
Right.
I'm definitely going to use that again.
And then you can just like have that as a path, like having your cubes on it or something, or whatever's marking your path. And then you like learn it, and like, great, now I can go this way. And if someone else wants to learn it, they can, but they have to like spend the time or the actions, whatever it is, to learn that path.
They have to pay you.
They have to watch me.
They don't pay you money, but they pay you respect.
Pay respect. Oh, they're clout.
You should make that.
There we go. Parkour year. Coming to a game store near you in 2030.
Yeah. Well, did I say... I think I said my takeaway.
I did not say my takeaway.
Wabash Cannonball. I think it was just that idea of building a route together with other people.
Oh, sure.
I think is really cool.
Yeah.
Well, I always like games where you can collaborate, but
you can't get blocked that way, which is pretty great.
You can't get blocked. That's another takeaway for sure for me from route building games where you might get blocked.
Find ways to not get blocked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or to make being blocked hurt less.
Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I think my takeaway is still gonna be like focus on the subsystems, and like, route building is great, but what else is along for the ride with the route building that can really
along for the ride?
Yeah.
That can really bring out the route building and make it feel really important. Like Wabash Cannonball. You're going through Wabash Cannonball.
Wabash.
I'll stop. I can't. I think I got it twice this episode. That's more than I got in a single episode in a row. So.
Yep.
But, you are getting these resources which are increasing the income of this company. And that feels really good because you're improving your economic engine, so to speak. But then someone could easily come in and snipe that by, taking one of the shares of that company in the future. And so it's really like the system. Yeah, you're building a route, but then you also have the shares and the income and the, fighting over that in the background. And I think those two support each other really well. Obviously, there's some flaws and things. It's an older game. I would do a lot of things to change it, just because I like changing things. But yeah, I really think focusing on that subsystem is really important. Definitely focus on what's being paired with that.
Mm-hmm.
And pick up and deliver is a great thing to pair with it.
Yeah,
they work together so well.
Yeah, maybe someday we'll do a pick up and deliver series. But yeah, I think with that, we'll wrap it up and stay tuned next time for a few special things, because our episode 100 is quickly approaching.
Very quickly.
Yeah.
This is episode 99.
Yeah. So tune in next time and you'll get to see what we do with episode 99 and 100.
Hey, thanks for listening to The Tabletop Takeaway. This podcast is made possible by listeners like you. So please tell your friends and visit our website at thetabletoptakeaway.com, where you can suggest games and mechanics for us to cover next on the show.